Mic check? Yeah, we good. Okay. All right, happy Sabbath, family.
Sabbath.
I'm Brother Al. For those who don't know, this is my reader, Brother Brian, coming to you on behalf of the Vineyard of Israel, in the name of the Most High God, of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, with a message on his true Sabbath day, the seventh day of the week, right? We thank the Lord for that revelation, all right? Thank Him for giving us an opportunity to serve and worship Him in spirit and in truth, right? We don't want to take it for granted, right? So praise the Lord. Okay, the title of today's lesson is The Secret Place of the Most High. The Secret Place of the Most High. Alright? Secret place of the Most High. Right? So it's a lot of things, surrounding this secret place. You go to Psalms 91, that's where we got the title of the lesson from. That's where we'll be concentrating for the most part in as well, right? Some people say this is I feel like they limited or restricted to just being one physical place. I think that's kind of limiting God. Right. So we want to go through these scriptures. We want to find out as much as we can about the secret place and about how to abide under the shadow of the Almighty. All right, that's what we're talking about, abiding under the shadow. So if that's an option, we need to know how. If you put that on the table, it will behoove us to find out, how do we get under that shadow? Right? So, a lot of times, let me say this. When the Bible speaks to us about line on line, precept on precept, that's even what the writers did. When we go through these scriptures and we see this language like abide under the shadow and things like that, he got that from somewhere. All of the apostles, they didn't just write things down out of thin air. What they was teaching, they was gleaning it from the law and the prophets. Even Christ himself, he didn't deviate. He went and got from the law and the prophets, precept on precept, comparison on comparison, line on line, right? Here a little and there a little. All right, so we want to focus on, when we get to Psalms 91, we want to focus on the context of the scriptures. See what message the writer is trying to convey. And if it's an actual place, then it's just an actual place. We'll go with it. I don't think he was trying to restrict it to just a physical place. Alright, so we'll see. This we do if the Lord permit. Good. Let's start. Matter of fact, we'll go ahead and start at Psalms 91. Psalms 91. Psalms 91, verse 1. Who we know to be the writer of Psalms? David, King David, right? So King David, whatever he wrote, he was writing by the Spirit of God. But he yet instilled what he wrote down, he pulled it from somewhere. And we're going to find out some places that he went to and what was his idea, right? He's smiling today. Amen. But let's start at verse 1. Psalm 91, verse 1. Hearken to the scripture.
He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty.
That's right. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. What that mean? What's abide under the shadow? That's like protection, right? Being under the protection of the Most High. That's what it means. He that dwelleth in the secret place shall be under the Most High's protection. Go ahead.
I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress.
So he started to take that idea and expound on it. He said, I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge, right? That's under his protection. He is my fortress, right? A fortress is like a large, permanent, fortified place. Sometimes, like the dictionary says, sometimes it includes a town. But we have a more permanent place than any city, right? And we're going to find out. This we do as the Lord permits. So, the Lord, what is he speaking of? The Lord being his refuge, the Lord being his fortress, right? He said, my God, in him will I trust, right? Did you finish that or did I read it for you?
You finished.
Oh, well, you go ahead. You feeling some type of way about it. Go ahead.
No, man.
I'm just saying. Go ahead and finish.
My God, in him will I trust.
My God, in him will I trust. So it's benefits that come with that. You know, nobody just serving and trusting in God for no reason.
Right.
God has plenty of benefits. Matter of fact, hold this spot. Pick me up at Revelation, the 3rd chapter. We'll see one of those benefits. Revelations 3. He said, we was at Psalms 91, and with Revelations 3, he said, God is my refuge and my fortress, in him will I trust. Alright? Let's find one of these benefits. Verse 10. Go ahead.
Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation.
So the hour of temptation is a time that's going to come upon the world that the world is not really ready for. He said he's going to try the whole world. But look at what he's saying. He said, because thou hast kept the word of my patience. All right, because you kept my word. He said, I'm going to do something for you. I'm going to keep you from the hour of temptation. Go ahead.
Which shall come upon all the world.
Which shall come upon all the world to try them
that dwell upon the earth.
That's right. You need to be in that secret place at that time. You need to be at that secret place at every time, here to say. Right? Because like you say, we walking through the valley of the shadow of death. Death is all around. Right? And it's just by the hand, by the power, by the protection of the Most High that trouble don't come upon us. Right? Let's back up to Psalms. I want you to pick me up at chapter 90, verse 1, before we go back to 91 and 1. Because in verse 2 he said, I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge and my fortress, my God, in him will I trust. Verse 1, Psalms 90 and 1. Hearken to the scripture.
Lord, thou hast been our dwelling place in all generations.
What do you mean? Dwelling place is what? Where you live. Huh? He said the Lord has been our dwelling place. Where at? In our generation. That's every man that put their trust in God. Right? That's every man that obeys his word, follow his commandments, laws, and statutes. Put your trust and your faith in the Lord. The Lord then can become your rock and your refuge, your dwelling place, right? Because I'm here to tell you, when he's your rock and your refuge, he's protecting you more than from just violence. He protecting your pocketbook, right? He protecting you from hunger, right? It's an all-around protection. You understand? God is not just one side. But it's to the people, this benefit, this protection, this secret place is to the people that keep his commandments, his statutes, and laws. Show you how I look in a minute once we get there, right? So let's go back to the 91st Psalm. No, matter of fact, I didn't read verse 2. Did we read verse 2 in that Psalm 90?
No, sir.
Okay, read verse 2. Go ahead.
Before the mountains were brought forth, or ever thou hadst formed the earth and the world, even from everlasting to everlasting, thou art God.
That's right. You, the everlasting dwelling place. You are the everlasting protection, which quite naturally, if he created man, he got the power to destroy man and bring all of his inventions to nothing. Verse 3.
Thou turnest man to destruction and sayest, return, you children of men.
That's right. Return to what? Return to the Lord. Huh? But he got the power. And this is what we miss. This is what he's trying to show us. If you put your trust in God, he has the power, and he's had it from everlasting. Right? And the reason why we don't come under the benefits now is because, like he said in Isaiah 59, your sins have separated me from you. Your sins have separated me. Right, now let's go back to the 91st Psalm. Where we leave off at? Verse 3. Yes. So it says, you my fortress, my refuge, my place of protection. Go ahead.
Surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler.
That's right. Look at that. The least is speaking about deliverance in his secret place, which is under the shadow of the Most High. He said, you are the one that's going to deliver me from the snare, the trap of the fowler, and of the noisome pestilence. Pestilence is what? What's pestilence? Like disease, right? So it's more, like I say, it's more protection than just from violence. Protect you from what? Disease. Other scriptures tell you, you the one that healed all my diseases. Go ahead.
He shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shalt thou trust.
Look, he said, he comparing it to a bird. Or he said, he shall cover thee with his feathers, right? Because he protecting you. Under his wings shall thou trust. Go ahead.
His truth shall be thy shield and buckler.
Look at what's the shield and the buckler. The truth. The truth. It's that simple. We don't even gotta guess. Because you kept the truth, the word of my patience, you abide under the shadow of the Most High. That's gonna be your what? Shield and your buckler, no matter where you at. The earth is his, and the fullness thereof. He don't have to be restricted. He's not restricted to just one specific place. Because remember, we read in Revelation, he said, because you kept the word of my patience, I'll keep you from the hour of temptation. It's going to try the whole world. That's what we got to bank on, in case we get caught up in that time. Keeping the word, and let that be our shield and our buckler. But look, he said, he shall cover you with his feathers. What do he mean? Where is David drawing his language from? Remember, precept on precept, line on line. He got this from somewhere. He didn't just, the Spirit of God led me to start writing about feathers and wings. No. This was already known. He's taking us back to the Exodus. He's taking us back, right? So hey, we'll get to it. The Lord let us. What verse? Verse 4?
Verse 5.
Go ahead.
Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for
That's the pestilence that you don't see. Darkness means you don't see it. You can't see it. It's all around. You shall be what? Protected from the pestilence that walk in darkness. Go ahead.
nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday.
He's drawing his language from the prophets, from Moses. From Moses. He gets his language from. Let me show you what I'm saying. He said, you don't have to worry about the pestilence that walk in darkness, nor from the destruction of the noonday, right? Back up real quick. Deuteronomy 28. Deuteronomy 28, verse 66. Remember, this secret place is conditional on obedience to the Most High. So what we've got to read about is a curse that came upon the children of Israel for disobedience. So if you disobey, you no longer under that protection of God. So fear gonna come upon you. Look, watch what he said. This is matter of fact, here's verse 15, and then we'll jump down to verse 66. But we need to see why this come upon you. Verse 15, then we'll drop down to verse 66. Hearken to the scripture.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God,
if you won't listen, if you won't obey, what?
To observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So he said it's going to come upon you. All these curses, reason being, you won't keep the commandments and the statutes that I command. He said all the ones that I command you this day is going to come upon you. Right? So even though I'm commanding them this day, they still good as long as we got a generation. But now drop down to verse 66.
And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee.
Because you're no longer under protection of God. Now what's in doubt is your life. You know what? That means you out there with no protection. Your life is hanging in the balance, right? You're no longer under the shadow of his wings. So what's going to happen? What's one of the things that you say is going to happen? Go ahead.
And thou shalt fear day and night.
So you're going to fear in day and in the night. No ease. But he said, if you wanted the secret place of the Most High, you don't have to fear the pestilence that walketh in the darkness, nor the destruction that wasteth at the noonday. But since you're not under my protection, because you're being disobedient, he said, you're going to fear. Your life's going to hang in a balance, day and night. Go ahead.
And shall have none assurance of thy life.
You don't have no assurance. What's that mean? No protection. Right? You don't have no protection. Go ahead.
In the morning thou shalt say, would God it were even, and in even thou shalt say, would God it were morning.
That's right. It don't matter what time of day it is because you don't have that protection. So you in fear all the day long. All night long you in fear. God is not protecting you because of your disobedience. You didn't put your trust in him. You didn't cleave to his word. Therefore, a curse came on you. Go ahead.
For the fear of thine heart wherewith thou shalt fear, and for the sight of thine eyes which thou shalt see.
That's right. For the fear of your mind you shall fear, and for the sight of your heart, the things you're going to see going to cause you to be afraid. Because you know at any time, I could be next. It could come near me. It could come near you. Psalm 91 again. Matter of fact, before we go there, let's do Deuteronomy 32. Deuteronomy 32. You can pick me up at verse 8. That's because we're going to see where David was drawing the language from under the wings, under the shadow and, that type of thing. He was drawing it. Verse 8. Deuteronomy 32, verse 8. Hearken to the scripture.
When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam.
That's all of the men. When he separated the men, he gave them their inheritance, their land, their portion. Go ahead.
He set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel.
That's right. He set the boundaries of the people according to the 12 tribes of Israel. What else?
For the Lord's portion is his people.
The Lord's portion, his inheritance, is his people. That's the children of Israel. Go ahead.
Jacob is the lot of his inheritance.
Jacob is the lot of his inheritance. So what about Jacob?
He found him in a desert land.
Look at where he found him. Now he's starting to tell you. I found Jacob in a desert land. Go ahead.
And in the waste howling wilderness.
In the waste howling wilderness. He was just out and about. So what happened?
He led him about.
Look at what the Lord did for the nation or the children of Israel. He led them about how?
He instructed him.
Oh, he instructed them. That's one way.
He kept him as the apple of his eye.
And he kept him as the apple of his eye. So he gave him good instructions for him to follow, so that he can do what? Go ahead and read.
As an eagle stirreth up her nest, fluttereth over her young.
That's an eagle. Go ahead.
Spreadeth abroad her wings.
Spread abroad her wings. Go ahead.
Taketh them, beareth them on her wings.
What that mean?
So the Lord alone did lead him, and there was no strange God with him.
This is where David was getting that comparison about the bird. You understand? God led Israel out of a desert place, out of a wasteland. Right? He said he kept him as the apple of his eye. As an eagle would stir up her nest and flutter it over her young, that she would protect her young. That's how he protected Jacob. How could he do that? He said, because there was no strange God with him. I did that alone. I instructed him. I led him about, and I kept him as the apple of my eye. He said, he bare them on her wings. Go ahead.
So, 13.
Yes.
He made him ride on the high places of the earth, that he might eat the increase of the field.
He blessed him. Why wouldn't he? You under the Lord's protection. Right? You under God's protection. It's just like how we had it set up in Israel when somebody would come into the city, right? And somebody would meet them and bring them under the protection of their roof, right? Their safety was upon the person whose house it was. And you know what they did? They fed them. They made sure they was okay. They made sure that no harm came their way. This is how it is to be under the shadow of the Most High. This is how it is to be in his secret place. He's not just limited. His saints is all over the world. He can protect you from wherever. We're going to find Peter told us that. Go ahead.
And he made him to suck honey out of the rock, and oil out of the flinty rock.
That's right. What else he do?
Butter of kine, and milk of sheep.
Yes.
With fat of lambs, and rams of the breed of Bashan.
Yeah.
And goats with the fat of kidneys of wheat. And thou didst drink the pure blood of the grape.
Right, so he was blessed. What else? So after all, Israel was being blessed so much so that they forgot about God. Go ahead and read.
But Jeshurun waxed fat and kicked.
See, your heart waxed fat against God, he started to rebel. You kicked. Go ahead.
Thou art waxen fat. Thou art grown thick. Thou art covered with fatness.
Yes.
Then he forsook God which made him.
See, they forsook God first. That's what the Lord tell you. If you forsake me, I'll forsake you. He's not with you no matter where you at and what you do. God is not with you in the strip club. God ain't with you there. Huh? God ain't with you in the dope house. He's just not there. He ain't with you wherever. You're not cool with whatever you do. And people think that just because something terrible happened, it don't hit you right away, you think, oh yeah, the Lord is with you. No, that's not the case. You forsook him. You don't obey him. It was time and chance. That's what you was a recipient of. Time and chance. The Lord is with them as long as you be with him. That's point blank. That's what he tell you. 2 Chronicles 15, I believe. But keep rolling. Come on.
He forsook God which made him.
He forsook God which made him.
And lightly esteemed the rock of his salvation.
And lightly esteemed, it was a light thing. As long as they receive, which is how people are now. As long as you get blessed, as long as you got some money, as long as you eating good, your mind is far away from God. You forgot that it's just by the Lord's hand that you're able to get and do these things. You think you did it on your own. You think you got the power. All the man got to do is cut off your bread. You forgot about that though. And that's what happened to the whole nation of Israel. Forsook the rock. And remember this language, because you're going to see it some more in Psalms the 91st chapter as we go back and forth. Right, drop down to verse 18. He said, read verse 17. Let's see. He said, because they provoked him to jealousy with strange gods and abominations. Verse 17.
They sacrificed unto devils, not to God,
Mm-hmm.
to gods whom they knew not, to new gods that came newly up,
Yes.
whom your fathers feared not.
Uh-huh.
Of the rock that begot thee, thou art unmindful.
The rock that begot thee, Jacob. The rock is the Lord. Like the Bible said, who was the rock saved by God? The rock that begot thee, you unmindful of that one. You serve other gods. And that's how we was reading in the previous chapter, the curse came upon them. Mm-hmm. And now since the curse came upon you, there's no protection from God. You're no longer under the shadow. That's why you fear what can happen to you day and night. No assurance for your life is what he said. Keep rolling.
And has forgotten God that formed thee.
Yes.
And when the Lord saw it, he abhorred them.
He still was with them.
Because of provoking of his sons.
He hated them. He said because of the provoking of his sons.
And his daughters.
So what did he do?
And he said, I will hide my face from thee. I will see what their end shall be.
How you going to be under his shadow if you don't hear his face from? How you going to abide in his presence if you don't hear his face? This is like what he told Cain. He said, my face is hid from you now. Why? Because Cain sinned and he slew his brother. Go ahead.
For they are a very forward generation, children in whom is no faith.
Children in whom is no faith. Right? Trust, no faith. Right? But let's go back to the 91st chapter of Psalms, 91st division or something, whatever you want to call it. Still Psalms 91. You know. Said he kept Israel as the apple of his eye. What verse did we leave off on? 7?
Yes, sir.
Yes, because he was talking about picking it back up at verse 6. Go ahead.
Nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday.
Mm-hmm. Night and day, right? Go ahead.
1,000
if you want his protection, what he's saying, if you want his protection, you won't fear these things, right?
Right.
You won't fear the pestilence by night and destruction by day, right? And he said, the protection is so strong or great. Look what he said in verse 7. Go ahead.
1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand.
It ain't gonna come near you, because you under my shadow.
Right.
If he called it, who can go against what he called? Nobody. He said, it don't matter if 10,000 fall at one of your sides and 1,000 fall at the other one. I still got you under my wings. And we're gonna find out those wings got a lot of times he referring to angels, which he used for protecting us. All right? But go ahead.
But it shall not come nigh thee.
Look at that. It should not come near you. People die everywhere. All around. You see it, you just weren't paying attention that we were seeing it. It seems like even if people in your family dying all the way around you. It's trouble all around the world. What do you call it? Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. Why? He said, thy rod and thy staff, they do comfort me. This is what he's saying. Go ahead.
8. Only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked.
He said, you will see the reward of the wicked. Because he reward every man by the work of their hands. He just ain't gonna come near you. You under his protection. Go ahead.
Because thou hast made the Lord, which is my refuge, even the Most High, thy habitation.
Look at that. Where in these 9 verses, which time has he told us about an actual physical location? The location has been to dwell within him. That's the location that he's providing for you. It don't matter. The whole earth is his. Wherever you are. He said, I've been here since before the mountains was. I'm the everlasting dwelling place. Are we still looking for, he only can protect me here, or he only, no, not true. But you got to do your part. Your part is to keep his commandments. This is a benefit for obeying God. This is a benefit for being in agreement or in a covenant with God. This is a benefit for putting your trust, like David said, putting your trust in him. He told us in Isaiah, trust in the Lord, not one of these shall fail. He can't fail. The fault is always with the people. Right? What verse?
10.
Okay, so he said, because thou hast made the Lord, which is my refuge, the place that provides shelter, protection from danger or distress. That's what I've made the Lord to me. You know what that means? If my money is funny, the Lord is going to help me. I have made him I'm going to lean on the Lord to get this issue handled. Huh? If I'm in a situation that I can't get out of physically, I need to lean on the Lord for that help. That's why the prayer is important. That's why he don't hear the prayer of a sinner. You got to be keeping the commandments in order for your prayer to get heard, which is the same way how you abide under his protection. Because you're going to have to call out to him. Salvation means to be saved. If he say saved is a more physical word that we have applied it to. You could be, if you're drowning, what you need to be? Saved from what? Saved from drowning. Huh? If you're hungry and starving, what do you need? You need to be saved from that hunger. Right? If you got a disease, you need to be healed or saved from that disease. Right? It ain't just a spiritual salvation, it's physical salvation. We still got to live in the earth. Stuff is still happening. You got to come down out of the clouds. You know, it's real life here, right? We need help. We in our enemies' land. We need help. Our enemies, what they do, they feed us. They clothe us. They supposed to heal us, which they give us chemicals that make us sick. You need God to intervene. You need to abide under his shadow. Only way you're going to be able to do that is by obeying and keeping his commandments. And putting your trust in him. See, but we got our trust in the government. We got our trust in our jobs. Huh? These things are temporary. We got our trust in our parents or our savings account. We got our trust in our car or our looks. How can none of this help you? It only can help you so far. But the real help, you know what happens when you get in that tight jam though, don't you? You put your trust in all that stuff, but when you get in that tight jam, you try to call on God then. He probably ain't hearing you. You're going to have to deal with that, buddy. You know what? Tell your looks to get you out of this situation. Right. Huh? Tell your looks to pay that water bill. Huh? Tell your looks to take that gunshot for you, huh? I'm not helping you. But the ones that do help, that do put their trust in me, look, serving God ain't vain. You're a recipient of my benefit. I got you under my wings, baby. No matter where you at, the earth is mine. I don't need no help. I made every man on this earth. I can destroy. I can bring all their inventions to nothing. You want to go up against my servant? It ain't going to happen. Not that you prevail. Right? What verse?
10.
What it say?
There shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling.
That's right. Let's see. He said, no evil shall befall thee, neither shall any plague come near your dwelling. This is bigger than a house. That's what we trust in a lot of times. You think your house is your place of safety. Well, that house, people can come run up in that house, shoot it down. It don't matter. It only got locks on the door. Right. If they want to get in, they coming in. This is the truth. It's just the truth. He said, you shall what? Read that again, Brian.
There shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling.
That's right. Go ahead.
For he shall give his angels charge over thee.
Because that's what he used to protect you. When he's talking to you about that, those eagle wings, he compares angels to that. Because one of the faces that the angels have is the face of an eagle.
That's right.
And they have wings. Right? So he used that, and they even know that. And we're going to show you. He said he shall do what?
Give his angels charge over thee.
That means they going to protect you. That's what he going to use. They his ministers. They do what God tells them to do. And guess who they sent for? After this, we'll go to Hebrews, the first chapter. Go ahead.
To keep thee in all thy ways.
To keep you in all your ways. This is even in the way of truth.
That's right.
Let's go to Hebrews real quick. Hebrews 1 verse 13. We'll do Hebrews 1. Change the plans. Hebrews 1, and then we'll do Exodus 23. Psalm 34. Hebrews 1 verse 13. Hebrews 1 and 13. Hearken to the scripture.
But to which of the angels said he at any time?
Talking about his angels, right? He's making a difference between the angels and the Son. But he said, which of these angels, I said at any time what?
Sit on my right hand until I make thine enemies thy footstool.
So he never said that to no angel. But to his Son, that's what he said. Now he's going to tell us what he used the angels for. Go ahead.
Are they not all ministering spirits?
They all are ministers. That means serving spirits. They serve the Most High. Whatever you tell them to do, whatever capacity you have them to serve, that's what they do. That's their job. Like what? Give me an example.
Sent forth to minister for them who shall be heirs of salvation.
They are sent forth to minister or to serve them that shall be heirs, that shall receive salvation. Huh? Sent forth to serve them. How do you get on that level with God? By obedience.
That's right.
By putting your trust in God. Huh? So then you know what? He said the angels sent forth to serve or to minister to the ones that's going to be the heirs of salvation. Right? Let's go to Exodus 23. Remember, Psalms say he'll give them charge over you. Exodus 23, you can pick me up at verse 20. Exodus 23, verse 20. Exodus 23, verse 20. We're just dealing with the angels and how he used them to protect his saints, to lead them, right? So he gave them charge to keep you in the way. Exodus 23 and 20. Go ahead.
Behold,
What happened?
I sent an angel before thee.
What? For what reason?
To keep thee in the way.
Look what he's drawing the language for. This is exactly what it said in Psalm 91 and 12. The angel's going to have charge over thee to keep thee in the way. He said, I sent, behold, pay attention, I sent an angel before you. Right? For what reason? To keep you in the way. And what else?
To bring thee into the place which I have prepared.
So this is what you need to do, because you don't really know how to deal with this angel. So I'm going to instruct you. Remember he said Israel, he instructed them as the apple of his eye. He let them go ahead.
Beware of him and obey his voice.
Obey his voice.
Provoke him not.
Don't provoke him. Go ahead.
For he will not pardon your transgression.
He's not going to excuse your sin. Why not?
For my name is in him.
He represents me. He coming on behalf of me. I gave him authority and power to execute my will. So don't provoke him. My name is there. What else?
But if thou shalt indeed obey his voice and do all that I speak.
Look at this. If you will. You always got a choice. Obey his voice. Huh? And do all that I speak. What?
Then I will be an enemy unto thine enemies, and an adversary unto thy adversary.
You say what? You gonna do what, Lord?
Be an enemy unto thine enemies.
Look at that. This is benefit. Protection from the Most High.
So right.
You ain't got to worry about your life hanging in the balance if the Lord is the enemy to your enemies. You don't have to worry about what you're going to eat if the Lord is your protection. Because if you under his shadow, he's going to feed you. According to Psalms 37, if you righteous, he said, two things I ain't never seen. I forgot the first one, but he said, we're going to read it. He said, I ain't never seen the righteous begging bread, though. See, that's why I got it written in the lesson so we can read it. But I'll get you in the Bible part, you know. But go ahead. 23. For my angel shall go before thee, and bring thee in unto the Amorites, and the Hittites, and the Perizzites. Right, because he gave Israel the land of Canaan, and they had to fight and knock down these nations in order to inhabit it. Right? So he was just getting the angel to charge over them and lead them in a way. He said he's going to go before thee and bring thee into the Amorites, and Hittites, and Perizzites, and Canaanites. Go ahead. The Hivites and the Jebusites, I will cut them off. That's right. So yeah, I don't want you to provoke this angel. Psalms the 34th. Should I call it chapter? Or just Psalms 34? I'll just roll it down. Psalms 34. Psalm 34, verse 4. I don't want all of it. Verse 4 and then verse 7. Psalm 34, verse 4 and verse 7. Hearken to the scripture. I sought the Lord, and he heard me, and delivered me from all my fears. Look at that. The Lord can hear only those who obey him. And he said, I sought the Lord, and he what? Delivered me, or saved me. From what? All my fears. Go ahead. 6. This poor man cried, and the Lord heard him. And then what? So what did he do? And saved him out of all his troubles. It's not limited. What happened? The angel of the Lord encampeth round about them that fear him. Look at that. It's the protection. So you're going to get an angel's charge over you, right? He said the angel of the Lord camp about everybody. No, it did. Oh, that fear him. The angel of the Lord camp around those that what? Fear him. Go ahead. And delivereth them. And do what? Delivereth them. Amen. It don't matter where you at. The Lord got unlimited power. What that next verse say? Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. See, nowadays, you know what? We don't want to taste and see. We too in love with wickedness. We find joy and pleasure in wickedness. So we really ain't trying to taste and see. That's why we try to do stuff on our own. Right. That's why we have no patience when it comes to God. Our pleasure is in other things. But he said, oh, taste and see the Lord is good. Go ahead. Blessed is the man that trusteth in him. That's right. Blessed is the man that trusted in the Lord. Psalm 17. Psalm 17. Pick me up at verse 6. Psalm 17. Verse 6. Go ahead. I have called upon thee, for thou wilt hear me, O God. That's right. Incline thine ear unto me, and hear my speech. Show thy marvelous love and kindness, O thou that savest by the right hand them which put their trust in thee from those that rise up against them. That's right. No. He said, look what he said though. Trust. Verse 7 again, Brian. Show thy marvelous love and kindness, O thou that savest by the right hand them which put their trust in thee. That's right. He said, show your love and kindness to the ones and save them. He said, you save them by your right hand. Who? The ones that put your trust in thee. And look who he saved them from. Go ahead. From those that rise up against them. You got people all over. You got secret enemies. How let me ask you, how you gonna beat an enemy that you don't even know that's your enemy? You gotta disobey. You already lost that battle. You don't even know he's your enemy. And he's plotting against you, scheming and dreaming. And he's setting traps. That's what he means. The wicked set snares for the righteous. You need God's help. You need his protection and deliverance. And the only way to get it is to obey or put your trust in him. Verse 8. Go ahead.
Keep me as the apple of the eye.
Look, same language. You got it from Moses. Right? He said, keep me as the apple of the eye. Remember when he was talking to us in Deuteronomy about the apple, Israel being the apple of his eye, he said he led them, he instructed them, he let them ride on the high places of the earth, he blessed them. So much so that they waxed fat and kicked. But he like, keep me in remembrance like that. I'm not going to wax fat and kick. I'm going to remember I got my trust in you. You're my refuge. Go ahead.
Hide me under the shadow of thy wings.
This is what he said in Psalms 91. Hide me where at?
Under the shadow of thy wings.
Go ahead.
From the wicked that oppress me.
Look at that. This is another thing he wants protection from. The wicked that oppress. So this is like in real life. Like right now, like relative situations. Keep me as the apple of your eye. Hide me under the shadow of your wing from the wicked man that oppress me. From my deadly enemies, which compass me round about, meaning they all around. How you gonna get away from enemies all around? See, instead of trying to get away, the best thing we can do is find out how to get the protection from God. Is find out how to abide under his shadow. So what I'm saying is, Psalms 91 is bigger than a wilderness. It's bigger than that. Matter of fact, read the whole chapter. Tell me one time when it even tell you that is the wilderness. Stick to the context of the scripture and tell me when it tell you that's the wilderness. The Most High is the dwelling place. He told us that. The truth is the shield and the buckler. That's how we get it. That's how we become a recipient of his protection. Go back to Psalms 91. Matter of fact, let's read Psalms 3. I forgot, I skipped that one. Psalms 3. He's going to make a point in Psalms 3. Go ahead, verse 1.
Lord, how are they increased that trouble me? Many are they that rise up against me.
Is that the truth? Soon as he told you about the righteous man, if you want to keep be righteous, he said you done made yourself a prey. Yeah, so you need that protection, right? Go ahead.
Many there be which say of my soul, there is no help for him in God.
Look at that. Many there be what? Say there's no help. What?
For my soul.
No, they say there's no help in God.
Oh.
I don't know why you keep them statutes and commands. Stuff ain't gonna help you. That's what the wicked man say. And look, he said many people saying that. But go ahead.
3. But thou, O Lord, art a shield for me.
Look at that. You, O Lord, are a shield from me. A protection. Go ahead.
My glory. And the lifter up of mine head.
He said, I find myself glorying in you. He said, you the one that lift up my, what do you mean to lift up my head? that mean? When your head is down, what that symbolize? Sad, right? Depressed, troubled, right? So you're the one that lift me up from those situations. Not man. Go ahead.
I cried unto the Lord with my voice.
So you know what he's describing? He's describing the Most High being his dwelling place. Everything that happens to him, he leans on God. He trusts in God. So he knows that's where my help is coming from. So I need to seek him. I don't care even though I got all these evil people around me, that don't sway me. I'm solid. Go ahead, in the Lord. Go ahead.
And he heard me out of his holy hill. Selah.
Go ahead.
I laid me down and slept. I wait, for the Lord sustained me.
That's right. He said, even while I was laying down and sleep, that's a vulnerable position. See, I didn't fear. Why didn't I fear? Because the Most High, I'm abiding under his shadow. He is my refuge, my rock, my fortress, my place of protection. That's why I trust in him. Because he can help me more than being under the shadow of a house. Being under the shadow of a defense city. Right? He is my protection. My trust is in God. Go ahead.
6. I will not be afraid of 10,000 of people that have set themselves against me round about.
Now, I'm here to tell you, if the Lord ain't your help, most definitely, you're going to fear a multitude. You know, because you know you easy pickings. But look what he says. I'm going to show you why. We got a little example on that one. Go ahead.
Arise, O Lord. Save me, O my God.
Who? What? Look at where he's going right back to. Every single time. He explained it to us. Different situations arise, and in each situation, he put his trust in God. It don't matter what the situation is. What he's showing you is, no matter how big my problems are, God is bigger. He's in control. He's the only one that can save me out of this trouble. Right? So you think your job can save you. That's what we think. We think the government can save us. All this stuff coming down. Everything that man put his trust in is coming down. That's why he's telling us the best thing for us to do is to put our trust in God. That's the whole point. No matter how strong something seems, no matter how much defense something seems to have, it's going to come down or it's going to fail eventually. The best thing you can do is put your faith in God. That's the whole point. Go ahead.
For thou hast smitten all my enemies upon the cheekbone. Thou hast broken the teeth of the ungodly.
Yes.
Salvation belongeth unto the Lord. Thy blessing is upon thy people.
Look at that. Salvation, to be saved. The physical salvation and the spiritual salvation. It belongs to God. That's where we get it from. And he said the blessing is upon who? Everybody?
Thy people.
Say amen. He said, you done broke the teeth of ungodly. You done smitten my enemies up on the cheek. So they see. They know not to mess with me because the Lord is with me. I put my trust in God. That's why he delivers him every time. Right? Let's get an example. Because this is David, right? Let's go to 2 Samuel 21. Look at a couple of examples. 2 Samuel 21. 2 Samuel 21. 2 Samuel 21. We'll start at verse 15. 2 Samuel 21. Verse 15. You know, David was a warrior. He fought many battles. It would make sense for him to write these type of psalms if you think about it. You going after battle, you in war, you constantly in trouble. Trouble is always around you. You always in the midst of your enemies. You need a rock to put your trust in. The rock is God. A rock is solid. A rock is tried. Through all elements, it's still gonna stand. Through the rain, through the fire, through the flood. The rock is still gonna be there. And that's why Christ is the rock, the chief cornerstone. And he told us something in Matthew, hopefully we'll get to it, about a man who built his house on a rock. Verse 15, hearken to the scripture.
Moreover, the Philistines had yet war again with Israel.
Okay, so the Philistines are going to war with Israel. Go ahead.
And David went down and his servants with him and fought against the Philistines. And David waxed faint.
Yes, David got tired. The warrior. He got tired. And what happened?
And Ishbi-Benob, which was of the sons of the giant, the weight of whose spear weighed 300 shekels of brass in weight, he began girded with a new sword, thought to have slain David.
You got a giant coming against David. David already got tired. He fainted. A Philistine coming against him. He saw it. What happened? He got a new sword. Look at that. He's ready to get some blood on him. Go ahead.
But Abishai, the son of Zeruiah, succored him and smote the Philistine.
Oh, he had help. It's like his help came out of nowhere. And his help smote the Philistine. Who can do that? This man fainted, was ready to perish. Who can help him? Who was his refuge? Remember, we read something that an angel camp around about the ones that fear him. See, we see the man, but in the background was that angel. The Lord helped him. And look what happened. Go ahead.
And killed him. Then the men of David swore to him, saying, Thou shalt go no more out with us to battle, that thou quench not the light of Israel.
Right. Say, listen, man, you too important to the nation. You don't come out to battle with us no more. You don't got nothing to prove. Right? But the Lord delivered him out of the hand of his enemies. He was under the shadow, the protection of the Most High. That's why he saved him. 2 Kings 6 chapter. You don't have to be nothing extravagant all the time. I'm saying God is practical too. Second Kings 6. I think I want to start at, I don't want all of it. We'll start at verse 10. Go ahead.
And the king of Israel sent to the place which the man of God told him and warned him of, and saved himself there, not once nor twice. Therefore the heart of the king of Syria was sore troubled for this thing. And he called his servants and said unto them, Will ye not show me which of us is for the king of Israel?
That's right, because the Lord was warning the king of Israel what the king of Syria was going to do. So the king of Syria thought he had a rat in his entourage. So he's like, y'all need to show me which one of y'all is on the king of Israel's side. But there's no way he should have knew about the attack. All right, go ahead.
And one of his servants said, None, my lord, O king.
He's like, none of us done betrayed you. Go ahead.
But Elisha, the prophet that is in Israel, telleth the king of Israel the words that thou speakest in thy bedchamber.
God gave him that ability. Go tell the king of Israel this. Told that to the prophet Elisha. So he went and did. And he got saved out of that danger. Right? But go ahead.
And he said, Go and spy where he is, that I may send and fetch him.
This is what the king of Syria said to him. Go spy where he is, and so I can come get him. Go ahead.
And it was told him, saying, Behold, he is at Dothan. He is in Dothan.
So what happened?
Therefore sent he thither horses and chariots, a great host. And they came by night and compassed the city about.
So he done sent a great army, right? He's gonna come and get the prophet, Elisha. Huh? And he came by night. So we're gonna sneak and do this here. Catch him off guard. Go ahead.
And when the servant of the man of God was risen early and gone forth, behold, and hosts compassed the city both with horses and chariots. And his servant said unto him, Alas, my master, how shall we do?
He's like, well, we done. What can we do? The whole army done compassed round about us. Go ahead. There's no way out. Go ahead.
And he answered, Fear not.
Like, man, just chill. You know what I'm saying? Elijah, settle down. And why you all worried and stuff? Don't fear not. Go ahead.
For they that be with us are more than they that be with them.
And you know, the servant try to figure out, it's only me and you. What are you talking about? Right? It's the prophet of God, Elisha, and it's the servant. That's all the servant of God see. But the prophet, he see more than that.
Right.
He like, just settle down, man. Look, I'm not even worried about that host. It's more with us than with them. Go ahead.
And Elisha prayed and said, Lord, I pray thee, open his eyes that he may see. And the Lord opened his eyes of the young man, and he saw, and behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha.
The man just ready to go to war. They encircling the one that encircled the city.
Right.
So once the Lord opened his eyes, this is what he saw. He said, horses and chariots, right, of fire. They ready for the battle. They gonna protect the Lord's servant and the prophet. Right? This is a benefit. That's why he told them, don't fear. I'm under the shadow of the Most High. We under the shadow. We dwell in the secret place because we obey him. Therefore, we can receive his benefit. So, because people think it's vain to keep the commandments. But the commandments, he told us one place, this is how it's great benefit in keeping them. Right? It's great. This is one of the benefits we're reading about. Protection.
Right.
Abide under his wings. Let's go to Psalm 19 and read it. And it don't matter what your situation is. Your situation is not too big. There was a famine in Israel for 3.5 years during the days of the kings. And God instructed Elijah to go to the brook. And he fed them day and night. How did he feed them? By a raven. By a bird. That's amazing. That's a benefit. Nobody else is eating. There's a famine upon all the land. And you got bread day and night and flesh.
Come on, man.
Put your trust in God. Psalms 19, verse 7. Hearken to the scripture.
The law of the Lord is perfect.
No, we ain't keeping that no more. Skip that. What's wrong with something that's perfect, though? Perfect means it's no flaws, it's no fault. It's just whole, complete, perfect. Go ahead.
Converting the soul.
Well, this is what it does. Once it gets down in your heart, in your mind, once it becomes a part of who you are, your character, that's when you're going to be converted or changed from the regular old sinner person that you were. And if it don't get down in your heart, you're just keeping the law like you read last night by the letter. It don't have no effect. It's not taking root. So you're going to give it up because you don't love it. You're going to turn. It's only a matter of time. Go ahead.
The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple.
Yes.
The statutes of the Lord are right, rejoice in the heart. The commandment of the Lord is pure, enlightening the eyes.
The commandment of the Lord is pure, enlightening, give you understanding. It's great benefits. Go ahead.
The fear of the Lord is clean, enduring forever. The judgments of the Lord are true and righteous altogether.
More right. He said, the fear of the Lord is clean. So this is right. Go ahead.
10. More to be desired are they than gold.
Nope. He said they more to be desired than gold. This is not true to society. This is only true to somebody that put their trust in God. Because the Lord tell you in the day of wrath, riches they're not going to help you. Right. Righteousness is going to deliver you in the day of wrath. He said, more to be desired than gold. Go ahead.
Yeah, than much fine gold. Sweeter also than the honey and the honeycomb.
That's sweet. Once the Lord open your eyes and give you understanding, that's something you've been trying to understand, you feel like you done hit the lottery.
Right.
Alright? But go ahead.
Moreover, by them is thy servant warned.
Look at that. By the commands. By the statutes. The ones that serve God. He said they warned. Warned of what? Danger. You don't have to fall in the ditch if you know what's right there.
That's right.
Moreover, by them, what money do that? No, because people try to buy their way out of everything. Huh? How much do it take to warn somebody of danger? What's the cost? Who can pay it? Yeah, okay, go ahead.
And in keeping of them there is great reward.
Look at that. See, it's more than just some words on the page.
That's right.
And keeping of them, he said, it's great reward. It's great benefit. These are the words of God now. You saw one of the benefits when David fell down faint in war. How much money could he have paid that Philistine not to slay him? Hold up, I'm the king of Israel. I'll give you half the kingdom if you let me make it. Couldn't save him. Had to rely on God. God came through. Why? Because he keep his command. He put his trust in him. He was his protection. On the battlefield. You hear me? On the battlefield. You need his protection when you go on the battlefield. My battlefield is a job. You were surrounded by nothing but wickedness. You need his protection every day. By them is thy servant warned. He said, in the keeping of them is great reward. You finished that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's good. Let's go to Exodus. You can go to Exodus 8 chapter. Exodus the 8th chapter. If God is our rock and our refuge, it don't matter where we at. His protection, it ain't limited. When you under the shadow of his wings, he got you. You can be anywhere in the world. This is when the Lord was putting plagues on Egypt. He started to separate his servants, which was Israel, from the Egyptians. Right, so these plagues, they finna hit all Egypt, but miraculously, they started to skip over Israel. And we just gonna read a couple of them. And once we get to that last one, that's how it really look when you're up under the shadow of his protection. Because he coming through.
Early in the morning and stand before Pharaoh. Lo, he cometh forth to the water, and say unto him, Thus saith the Lord, let my people go, that they may serve me.
That's what he said. This is what I want you to tell Pharaoh. Let my people go so they can serve me. Go ahead.
Else, if thou wilt not let my people go, behold, I will send swarms of flies upon thee, and upon thy servants, and upon thy people, and into thy houses, and the houses of the Egyptians shall be full of swarms of flies, and also the ground wherein they are.
That's right. Everywhere. Upon all your servants, throughout all Egypt, right? Even on the ground. Swarms of flies. Go ahead.
And I will sever in that day the land of Goshen, in which my people dwell.
Sever means to divide, or split. See, I'm going to send flies on you and your servants, but my servants, look, we're going to make a clear division. Right? He said, in the land of Goshen where my people dwell, live, what's going to happen?
That no swarms of flies shall be there, to the end thou mayest know that I am the Lord in the midst of the earth.
Look at that. I'm the Lord in the midst of the earth. Huh? But he said, this is a pestilence. I'm going to send swarms of flies. But they're not going to affect my people. They're just going to hit you with your people. I'm protecting mine. I'm looking out. Go ahead. Last verse.
And I will put a division between my people and thy people. Tomorrow shall this sign be.
Look at that. I'm going to put a division. And it's like that now. There's a division between the saints and the sinners. And the division is the law, statutes, and commandments, which convert the sinner to a saint. Once you're a sinner and you start dealing with God's law, statutes, and commandments, and it takes root, it's supposed to be a division between you and the sinner. Because your soul has been converted by the word of God. So the Lord started to put it, he always has done that. Right. A division between his servants. Right, let's see it again. Let's just skim through this right quick. Go to the 10th chapter of Exodus. You won't need it all. You can read all them plagues on your own. 10 and verse 21. We're just trying to get to the point. He protected them from that pestilence. Flies. Verse 21. Harken to the scripture.
And the Lord said unto Moses, Stretch out thine hand toward heaven, that there may be darkness over the land of Egypt, even darkness which may be felt.
That's right. So the Lord is bringing in another plague. This time the plague is going to be darkness. He telling Moses, stretch out your hand so there's going to be darkness on the land of Egypt. The darkness is so thick that you can feel it. Right, go ahead.
And Moses stretched forth his hand towards heaven, and there was a thick darkness in all the land of Egypt 3 days.
Look where they at. Israel is in Egypt too. His people is in Egypt, along with the Egyptians. So they right in the midst of their enemies. You understand what I'm saying? They right in the midst of their enemies. Go ahead.
They saw not one another, neither rose up any from his place for 3 days.
That's how dark it was. You couldn't even see the person next to you. You could feel it, it's so dark. They had a presence. He said for 3 days they didn't even move hardly. Go ahead.
But all the children of Israel had light in their dwellings.
Look at that. His servants, they wasn't affected by this plague. They under his shadow. He protected them. They the apple of his eye. While the other people are suffering the plague, it's not hitting them. Just imagine. We need that out. It's more than just, physical violence being saved by. Just imagine that the country is in a recession. Some of the servants of God, they don't even notice on his protection. Remember when he protected Job, Satan tried to get at him. He said, you done hedged him up and everything. What verse you at?
24.
That's okay, that's good. But Israel had light, it was a division. Right? God separated them from Pharaoh. Right? Let's look again. Let's go to the 12th chapter. 12th chapter. You can pick me up at verse 1. Go ahead.
And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying.
No, so we just showing we still in Egypt. Drop down to verse 6. Because the Lord said integrate the Passover. Go ahead.
And you shall keep it until the 14th day of the same month.
Talking about the lamb. Go ahead.
And the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill it in the evening. And they shall take of the blood and strike it on the two side posts and on the upper doorposts of the houses wherein they shall eat it.
That's right. So these are instructions from God, right? I want you to take it, keep it to the 14th day of the evening. The whole congregation kill it in the evening. Said then I want you to take the blood of this lamb and strike it upon the two side posts and upon the upper doorposts of the houses wherein they eat. Go ahead.
And they shall eat the flesh in the night, roast with fire and unleavened bread, and with bitter herbs they shall eat it.
Okay, let's drop down to verse 12. Go ahead.
For I will pass through the land of Egypt this night, and will smite all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both man and beast.
Look at that. I'm coming through with a plague, destruction, death. And I'm coming throughout all the land of Egypt. He said, I'm going to smite all the firstborn. Remember, he said, by the keeping of the commandments, your servant warned. So they'll be saved, but they got to make sure they do what the Lord says. Make sure they obey. Because if they don't obey this time, even though they be the Lord's people, the plague going to hit them too. You got to show me you believe. You got to put your trust in me. So I'm coming through, no doubt, to smite. And I'm going to smite all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both man and beast, and
against all the gods of Egypt I will execute judgment.
That's right. Because remember, no, he the God of gods. Ain't no gods but him. Go ahead.
I am the Lord.
Yes.
And the blood shall be to you for a token upon the houses where you are.
See, the blood, when I see that blood, it's going to be a sign or a token upon the house where you are. Right? Go ahead.
And when I see the blood, I will pass over you. And the plague shall not be upon you to destroy you when I smite the land of Egypt.
That's if I see that blood. The blood is a sign. It shows me you believe. If I don't see that blood, listen, you're going to get the same thing everybody else get. You're going to get firstborn smitten of man and beast. He's telling us the conditions. Once I see the blood, then I will pass over you, and the plague shall not be upon you to destroy you when I smite the land of Egypt. Go ahead.
And this day shall be unto you for a memorial, and you shall keep it a feast to the Lord throughout your generations. You shall keep it a feast by ordinance forever.
Verse 21. Go ahead.
Then Moses called for all the elders of Israel and said unto them, draw out and take your lamb according to your families and kill the Passover. And you shall take a bunch of hyssop and dip it in the blood that is in the basin, and strike the lintel and the two side posts with the blood that is in the basin. And none of you shall go out at the door of his house until the morning.
So Moses is clearly warning the children of Israel, right, to do what thus says the Lord. Put this blood on your doorpost. Go ahead. And don't go out your house. Remember, this is what he said too. Don't go out your house until the morning. Right? The protection is conditional. Right? If you obey. Right? It's always in the same way. If you obey, you can abide under the shadow.
Right.
Go ahead.
For the Lord will pass through to smite the Egyptians.
Who passing through? Who the one bringing the destruction? The Lord. He's going to pass through. He's going to smite them. Go ahead.
And when he seeth the blood upon the lintel and on the two side posts, the Lord will pass over the door and will not suffer the destroyer to come in unto your houses to smite you.
See, it says the Lord won't allow the destroyer to come in and smite you.
That's right. Once
I see the blood. But if I don't, that destroyer is going to hit your house too. Now remember, they still in the midst of their enemy. But this is how they going to receive the protection from God in the midst of their enemies. Go ahead.
And you shall observe this thing for an ordinance to thee and to thy sons forever.
Verse 29.
And it came to pass that at midnight the Lord smote all the firstborn in the land of Egypt.
Came through on his word. Come on.
From the firstborn of Pharaoh that sat on his throne unto the firstborn of the captive that was in the dungeon, and all the firstborn of cattle. And Pharaoh rose up in the night, he and all his servants.
That was a grievous thing, wasn't it? He didn't come through all the houses that didn't have the blood. I'm glad I wasn't in Egypt then. Right. Because I'm a firstborn. That's what I'm glad. I don't know what mom and daddy would have done. You know what I'm saying? Can't take that chance. Right? But anyway, praise the Lord that we wasn't back then. Right? Go ahead.
And there was a great cry in Egypt, for there was not a house where there was not one dead.
They didn't believe. There was no protection from God for the ones that didn't believe. For the ones that didn't put their trust in him. There was no protection. It was death. It was a plague. They were smitten. Go ahead.
And he called for Moses and Aaron by night and said, Rise up and get you forth from among my people, both ye and your children of Israel, and go serve the Lord as you have said.
Amen. Serve the Lord. Daniel the 6th chapter. It don't stop. Daniel the 6th chapter. Daniel 6th chapter. Pick him up at verse 1. Go ahead.
It pleased Darius to set over the kingdom 120 princes, which should be over the whole kingdom.
Right.
And over these three presidents, of whom Daniel was first, that the princes might give account unto them, and the king should have no damage. Then this Daniel was preferred above the presidents and princes because an excellent spirit was in him.
That's right. Daniel was preferred because the spirit of the Lord was in Daniel. All right, so that made the people jealous. But go ahead, what verse?
In the 3.
Go ahead.
And the king thought to set him over the whole realm.
Right, because the king don't want to suffer no loss. Daniel is dependable. Right? Daniel is faithful. So Daniel's going to handle the business the way God said it should be handled. So the king recognized that. They put him over. Everybody. Go ahead.
Then the presidents and princes sought to find accusation against Daniel concerning the kingdom.
Right, so they wanted to find a fault with Daniel. They wanted to bring a charge up against him concerning the kingdom. Go ahead.
But they could find none occasion nor fault, for as much as he was faithful, neither was there any error or fault found in him.
So what happened?
Then said these men, We shall not find any occasion against Daniel, except we find it against him concerning the law of his God.
You can't tell me they wasn't watching Daniel hard. So they're going to try to provide a stumbling block, right, to get Daniel to fall. They like, only thing we can't find nothing, no fault in him. We have to come up with something to where we can get him to go against the laws of his God. That's where we'll find the fault at. Go ahead.
Then these presidents and princes assembled together to the king, and said thus unto him, King Darius, live forever.
Go ahead.
All the presidents of the kingdom and the governors and the princes and the counselors and the captains have consulted together to establish a royal statute and to make a firm decree that whosoever shall ask a petition of any god or man for 30 days, save of thee, O king, he shall be cast into the den of lions.
Well, this is the decree they want to go after throughout the whole kingdom. You think this ain't gonna be tight on some people that say they keep the command? They can't serve no other king for 30 days but the king of Babylon. Right? We need you to make a royal decree. And if we find him doing it, he said, cast him into the den of the lions. Go ahead.
Now, O king, establish a decree and sign the writing, that it be not changed according to the law of the Medes and the Persians, which altereth not. Wherefore King Darius signed the writing and the decree.
You know, this is against Daniel. This is against the law of God. Daniel saw it, he knew what happened. Let's see where Daniel's trust was. Go ahead and read.
Now when Daniel knew that the writing was signed, he went to his house.
He started weeping and whining, complaining and murmuring. Lord, why me?
No, sir.
What happened?
And his windows being opened in his chambers toward Jerusalem, he kneeled upon his knees 3 times a day and prayed, and gave thanks before his God as he did aforetime.
Now the decree is going out. You can't serve no other God. That's immediate death. You getting thrown into a den of lions. That's fake. Why would God fail him? He the God above all. Why would he fail him in this situation? Daniel believed. He didn't let that decree deter him from serving God. He did it in the face of death. Death was on the table. And he still wasn't shaken by it. He needed to be saved out of this situation. He needed to be protected from them lions, because he's going in. He needs to be saved to the point where he really don't even have to go into the lion's den dome. Let's see if that's what God wanted. Go ahead.
Then these men assembled and found Daniel praying and making supplication before his God.
They knew it. They had him time. They knew it. Go ahead.
Then they came near and spake before the king concerning the king's decree.
Right.
Hast thou not signed a decree that every man that shall ask a petition of any god or man within 30 days, save of thee, O king, shall be cast into the den of lions?
That's right. Go ahead.
The king answered and said, the thing is true, according to the law of the Medes and the Persians, which altereth not.
That's right. So they jump down to verse 15. Go ahead.
Then these men assembled unto the king and said unto the king, Know, O king, the law of the Medes and Persians is that no decree nor statute which the king establishes may be changed.
That's right, but the king kind of loved Daniel a little bit. He would have changed that decree on Daniel's behalf, because he know they beguiled him in establishing that decree. So what they did was they brought it to his attention. Okay, you know the law of the Medes and Persians can't be changed. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Then the king commanded, and they brought Daniel.
Had to, because the law couldn't be changed, right?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
And cast him into the den of lions.
Look at that. Why God didn't do nothing? It ain't over, is it? Is he dead? Oh, he still got hope. Go ahead.
Now the king spake and said unto Daniel, Thy God whom thou servest continually, he will deliver thee.
Look at his testimony. You serve God all the time. But the king knows something about God. He said, your God is going to deliver you. Go ahead. 17.
And a stone was brought and laid upon the mouth of the den, and the king sealed it with his own signet, and with the signet of his lord, that the purpose might not be changed concerning Daniel.
Right.
Then the king went to his palace and passed the night fasting. Neither were instruments of music brought before him, and his sleep went from him.
So Daniel was in the den of lions all night. What happened?
Then the king arose very early in the morning and went in haste unto the den of lions. And when he came to the den, he cried with a lamentable voice unto Daniel. And the king spake and said to Daniel, O Daniel, servant of the living God, is thy God whom thou servest continually able to deliver thee from the lions?
You gotta ask the question. Daniel, servant of the living God, you don't know. Is he dead? Go ahead.
Then said Daniel unto the king,
Yes.
O king, live forever.
What? You know this king looking at this like, this man that came back from the dead with that type of astonishment. I can't believe it. Certainly he was supposed to die.
Right.
Go ahead.
My God has sent his angel.
What? My God did what?
Sent his angel.
Under his shadow. Under his protection. In the den full of lions, Daniel is protected by God. Why? Because he was found righteous before God. Because he served God. Because he put his trust in God. Deliverance. Daniel was saved from the lion. Go ahead. He was surely supposed to die, right? This is a benefit. Remember, the psalm said, in the keeping of the commandments, there is great reward. He kept the commandments in the face of death. And God kept his word. God was faithful to his word. Right. He kept Daniel from death, even though he down in the same den as the lions. Well, he said, my God has sent his angel. Why did Daniel knew? This is how the God protected me. The angel camped around the ones who God protected. Daniel wasn't confused. God sent his angel. Man, I already know what's up. That's right. He been reading. He knew Psalm 34 said, the angel of the Lord camped around them that fear him. So when he came out, first thing he said was, look, God sent his angel.
Founded me, and also before thee, O king, have I done no hurt.
Look at that. He innocent. He did nothing wrong. God delivered. All right, go ahead.
Then was the king exceedingly glad for him, and commanded that they should take Daniel up out of the den. So Daniel was taken up out of the den, and no manner of hurt was found upon him, because he believed in his God.
That's right. No hurt. Why? Because he believed in God. Well, let's see somebody that didn't believe. Verse 24. Go ahead. And it could be a fluke. You know, let's just see. Let's just prove it out. Verse 24. Go ahead.
And the king commanded, and they brought those men which had accused Daniel, and they cast them into the den of the lions.
Let's see if they got saved them. Go ahead.
Them, their children, and their wives.
Oh man. Hate to be married to one of them, huh? But go ahead. Hate to be one of their children. Go ahead.
And the lions had the mastery of them, and break all their bones in pieces, or ever they came at the bottom of the den.
Man, devoured them. They had no protection. They wasn't under the shadow of nothing. Huh? They wasn't the apple of God's eye. He said the true and living God have protected me. But these people here, no matter if they was children, the wives, they had no protection. They was in the same place. Daniel just had the place of safety. He was safe. Right. They was in the same place. You know what? Psalm 62. Psalm 62 verse 7. Psalm 62. Verse 6. Go ahead.
He only is my rock.
Yes, the Lord. The rock is solid. The rock can be tried and it's going to endure. A rock can withstand the fire, can withstand the water, can withstand the wind, can withstand the dirt. The rock is tested. He only, you see that? Is my rock. Go ahead.
And my salvation.
And my salvation. Look, verse 5 say, my expectation is from him. Everything I expect to receive come from him. See, we don't have this kind of faith now. Our faith is easily shaken. Gotta get back. Go ahead.
He only is my rock and my salvation. He is my defense. I shall not be moved.
Look at that. That's why Daniel can go in there and pray. When the decree was made, he wasn't moved by the decree.
Right.
Oh, that comes from the enemy. That's got a higher power. I know it came from the king, but I got a king that's a king of kings. He can override. Right? He only is my salvation. What did you say? Verse 7. God is my salvation. Go ahead.
and my glory,
Mm-hmm.
the rock of my strength,
The rock of my strength.
and my refuge is in God.
My protection is where at?
In God.
Go ahead.
Trust in him at all times, you people.
That's what he's telling you. Don't matter what the situation is. No matter how bad it seems. Trust in him at all times. Go ahead.
Pour out your heart before him.
Look at that. Make your request known. Go ahead.
God is a refuge for us.
Look at that.
Selah.
God is a refuge for us. Go ahead.
Surely men of low degree are vanity, and men of high degree are a lie.
Mm-hmm.
To be laid in the balance, they are altogether lighter than vanity.
Go ahead. Man is nothing. Go ahead.
Trust not in oppression, and become not vain in robbery.
Right. So he don't want you to trust in oppression. He don't want you to become vain in robbery. If you do happen to increase a little bit, come on.
If riches increase, set not your heart upon them.
Right, because remember the theme is to trust in God and make God your strength, your refuge, and everything you expect it from Him. Don't trust in these worldly things. Right? He said if riches increase, don't set your heart upon them. Don't set your mind. That shouldn't be your primary focus because you done got a little more money. Because you done got a couple more cars. Huh? Because you done got a bigger house. You trusting in that house. That's why I tell you can come through. Army, anything, martial law, whatever, it don't matter. That's not your real protection. You shouldn't trust in that. The real trust is behind the scenes that come from the Lord. A lot of times we can't see it because it's behind the scenes, because we don't see Him. So it's out of sight, out of mind. That's the mentality we share. Which He's telling you don't be like that. You got to put God at the forefront. That's what He's telling you. This is how you get to that level, like what the apostles is on, like what David was on, like what Daniel was on. See, we brought up in a society that don't teach us that. It teaches us to be distant and separate from God. Everything that's the focus. Only thing this society teaches us is to go to God, right? You got to get away from that. Keeping the commandments is great reward. He said it's more, they better than gold and silver. I know they not to the average man. Well, somebody serving the Lord, you should be able to have a testimony to prove that out. You should be able to see it's a difference. Go ahead.
God has spoken once. Twice have I heard this, that power belongeth unto God.
What power belong to who?
Unto God.
Right. He got the power. He said, all power is given unto me in heaven and in earth. That's why nobody can go against him and prevail. Trust in God. He is your refuge. He is your rock. He is the defense. Go ahead.
Also unto thee, O Lord, belongeth mercy, for thou renderest to every man according to his work.
So whatever your hands do, whatever reward you get, you earned it righteously. Psalms 94. Psalms 94, verse 20. Go ahead.
Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which framest mischief by a law?
That's right. The throne of wickedness, that's the wicked rulers of the earth. They always trying to get the servants of God to stumble. They can come up with laws and statutes, decrees, just like what we read with Daniel, to get you to transgress God's law. But God is a higher power. Don't worry about putting your trust in them. They gather themselves together against who?
The soul of the righteous.
To do what?
And condemn the innocent blood.
That's right.
But the Lord is my defense.
What?
The Lord is my defense.
This is what type of mind we have to have in the face of adversity, in the face of trouble, in tribulation. anguish and distress. You gotta know. These people ain't shaking. They solid.
Right.
Because they put their faith in something inside the rock. The Lord is my defense. What else?
And my God is the rock of my refuge.
God is the rock of my refuge. Alright? Let's go to Psalms 23. Psalms 23. You can pick me up at verse 1. Go ahead.
The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want.
Mm-hmm.
He maketh me to lie down in green pastures.
That's right.
He leadeth me beside the still waters.
Mm.
He restored my soul.
He said he leaded me beside the still water. He said he restored my soul. Remember the other psalm said he's the lifter up of my head.
Mm-hmm.
He said he restored my soul. He leaded me on the right path. Go ahead.
He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake.
Come on now.
Yeah, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death,
Mm-hmm.
I will fear no evil.
Said I will fear no evil. Yes.
For thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me.
That's right. He said, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, you with me. This is why I don't have to fear. The man has confidence that God is with him. Because he know he's doing his part. You know, he up holding his end of the bargain or the covenant. Right? He said, you with me. I got comfort. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. Go ahead.
Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies.
Look at that. He said, you prepare a table for me in the presence of my enemies. Go ahead and read.
Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over.
I got more than enough. Because of you. I got protection. I got everything I need.
Right.
Because of you. Right, Psalm 37. Verse 23. He said, you my shepherd, you my rock, you my fortress, you my protection. Look at what else he do. Verse 23, go ahead.
The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delighteth in his way.
I mean, he lead them. The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord. And he delighted in his way. Come on.
Though he fall, he shall not be utterly cast down.
That's right. If he falls, stumble, or slip, he shall not utterly be destroyed. Go ahead.
For the Lord upholdeth him with his hand.
That's right. He lifts him up. He keep him in the way. With his hand, go ahead.
I have been young, and now am old.
Mm-hmm.
Yet have I not seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread.
He said, these two things I ain't never seen. He said, I was young, ever since I've been young, but now I'm old. He said, but I still ain't never seen the righteous, what? Forsaken,
Nor seed begging bread.
nor his seed begging bread. This is a benefit from the Lord. That means he got you. His hand is on. Even though you fall and stumble a bit, he's not going to utterly cast you away. Matthew 7, verse 24. Matthew 7. Matthew 7, verse 24. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Harken to the scripture.
Therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine, and doeth them, I will liken him unto a wise man, which built his house upon a rock.
God likened him unto a wise man that did what?
Built his house upon a rock.
He said, that's the man that heard the sayings and the one that's doing them. You like the one that built your house on a rock. Go ahead.
And the rain descended, and floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon that house.
All right.
And
Look where you build a house at. On the rock. No matter where you at, your house is established on the rock. Right? What you mean the rock, brother Al? You won't get there. Go ahead and finish this.
And it fell not, for it was founded upon a rock.
It don't fail. Why? Because it was founded, the foundation, it was founded upon the rock. Go ahead.
And every one that heareth these sayings of mine, and doeth them not, shall be likened unto a foolish man, which built his house upon the sand.
That's right. So, wise man gonna build his house on the rock. Therefore, when the rain come, when the flood come, when the wind blow, right? When the heat shine on it, it's gonna stand. Because he built it on a solid foundation. On a rock. He said, but a foolish man, you gonna go through the same situation. When the rain come, when the floods come, when the wind blow and beat on the house, what happened? It failed. It failed. And what happened?
And great was the fall of it.
And the fall was great. So what you mean a rock? Let's see. Psalms 18, verse 30. Psalms 18 and 30. Psalms 18, verse 30. Hearken to the scripture.
As for God, his way is perfect. The word of the Lord is tried. He is a buckler to all those that trust in him.
What's a buckler? Huh? A shield, a buckler, protection, right? He said the word is tried though. He said as for God, his way is perfect. The word of God is tried. It's tested. Huh? He is a buckler to all those that what? Trust in him. Once again, right back to the same situation. Go ahead.
For who is God save the Lord?
Who is God save us? Nobody. Go except the Lord. Go ahead.
Or who is a rock save our God?
That's the rock. Who is the rock save our God? A tried rock. 1 Peter 2. You build your house on the Lord. He your shield. He your buckler. He your protection. He your refuge. He prepare your table in the midst of your enemies. He your shelter. Right? That's what a wise man does. He gonna come through. 1 Peter 2, verse 6. Hearken to the scripture.
Wherefore also it is contained in the scripture.
What?
Behold, I lay in Zion a chief cornerstone, elect, precious, and he...
The chief cornerstone. Who is a rock save our God? A stone and a rock, one and the same. But this rock here, this is the chief cornerstone. That's Christ. That's why Christ was saying, a wise man build his house on a rock. He the rock. And then he was saying, the parable was telling, that's when you have your protection. When the trials and tribulations arise in your life, you'll be protected. Because you built your house on a rock, on a solid foundation. Go ahead.
And he that believeth on him shall not be confounded.
Once again. He that believeth on him shall not be what?
Confounded.
That's right. That rock is Christ. That rock is Christ. Let's go to 2 Peter. 2 Peter 2. Second Peter 2, verse 5. Go ahead.
And spared not the old world, but saved Noah, the 8th person, a preacher of righteousness, bringing in the flood upon the world of the ungodly.
That's right. Destruction came onto that old world. Everybody that was ungodly got destroyed. And what happened?
And turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemned them with an overthrow, making them an example unto those that after should live ungodly.
Right, remember, because he said God, he the one that didn't spare the old world. So he didn't spare the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah. He made them an example, overthrowing them. To the one, and it's an example for the ones that should live, come afterwards and live ungodly. Right? But what happened? Somebody got saved out of that city. Go ahead.
And delivered just Lot, vexed with the filthy conversations of the wicked.
Why would he just deliver Lot? There's a whole city full of people. Let's see. Go ahead.
For that righteous man dwelling among them, and seeing and hearing, vexed his righteous soul from day to day with their unlawful deeds.
So he was righteous in the midst of a town full of wickedness. He was vexed day by day. But what happened?
The Lord knoweth how to deliver the godly out of temptation.
Look at that. That's it in a nutshell.
Right.
God knows how to deliver ungodly out of temptation. That's troubles. It don't matter where you at. It don't matter the situation. But the ones that truly put their trust in God, they're going to go to him at the first sign of trouble. Every time. It's going to be a habit. It's a part of them. Because his word is dwelling within you. So that's the first thing you know to do. Because that's your help.
Right.
Huh? That's your rock. That's your refuge. That's your fortress. Go ahead.
And to reserve the unjust unto the day of judgment to be punished.
That's right. He even know how to reserve the unjust. He got him reserved. To the day of what? Punishment. But he knows, look what he said, he know how to deliver the ungodly. I mean, he know how to deliver the godly out of troubles, out of temptation. Alright? Couple more, we out. He even got, because we've been reading God is my refuge, right? He even got cities of refuge, cities of protection when he set up Israel, when he set up his people. He even set up places of safety for them. Right. Let's look at something. Let's go to Matthew, the 2nd chapter. Matthew 2. Pick up at verse 1. Matthew 2 and 1. I think we're going to get out here early today. Matthew 2 and 1, hearken to the scripture.
Now when Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea, in the days of Herod the king, behold, there came wise men from the east to Jerusalem, saying, Where is he that is born King of the Jews?
Yes.
For we have seen his star in the east, and are come to worship him.
Right.
When Herod the king had heard these things, he was troubled, and all Jerusalem with him.
Because he was the king of the Jews, right? So he troubled. Somebody else that's being born supposed to be king of the Jews? I'm king of the Jews. So what happened? He troubled. Now he's gonna make the whole city troubled along with him, because they know it's gonna be some wrath that follow this. So he said all Jerusalem was troubled with him. Go ahead.
And when he gathered all the chief priests and the scribes of the people together, he demanded of them where the Christ should be born.
He wanted to know. You need to tell me right now, where is he born? Go ahead.
And they said unto him, In Bethlehem of Judea, for thus it is written by the prophet.
Look at that. And right back to the word. But go ahead.
And thou, Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, art not the least among the princes of Judah. For out of thee shall come a governor.
Well, that's good. Drop down to verse 12. I don't want all that.
And being warned of God in a dream that they should not return to Herod.
That's the wise men, right? Because he demanded to them where the Christ should be born, right? But look how they was warned. Warned of who?
God in a dream.
Now why would God warn them? They had to be keeping the commandment. Remember we read, the commandment said, the Psalm said, and the keeping of the commandments by them is thy servant warned. They call them wise men. The Lord told wise men build their house on what? A rock. Right? He said, being warned of God in a dream that they shouldn't return to Herod, but part way into their own country. Go ahead.
Another way. And when they were departed, behold, the angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream, saying, Arise, and take the young child and his mother, and flee into Egypt, and be thou there until I bring thee word. For Herod will seek the young child to destroy him.
He sent the child into a place that he could be safe. Into the land of Egypt. Once again, Joseph warned of God in a dream. You know, it's how Joseph was a just man. The Bible told us that when he was debating about putting Mary away. He was just. God warned him, take the mother and the young child and go into Egypt. Because he hiding, right? He said, until I bring you word again, until I tell you again, for Herod shall seek to destroy the child. I'm going to kill him. So we're going to protect him, right? Take him into Egypt. Go ahead.
When he arose, he took the young child and his mother by night and departed into Egypt.
So he obeyed. All right, so that's how he was able to be a beneficiary of the protection. Go ahead.
And was there until the death of Herod, that it might be fulfilled which was spoken of the Lord by the prophet, saying, out of Egypt have I called my son.
Yes.
Then Herod, when he saw that he was mocked of the wise men, was exceedingly wroth. And sent forth and slew all the children that were in Bethlehem.
This is what he did because he was angry. Slew all the children? Because you mad? He really trying to get at this one that's born king of the Jews. This is why the Lord sent him away, for protection. Go ahead.
And in all the coast thereof, from 2 years old and under.
From 2 years old and under. Go ahead.
According to the time which he had diligently inquired of the wise men.
That's good. Drop down to verse 19.
But when Herod was dead, behold, an angel of the Lord appeared in a dream to Joseph in Egypt.
Right, but remember he told him, stay down there until I warn you again to come back. Right? So the angel came after the death of Herod. Right? And he came to him in Egypt, what happened?
Saying, arise and take the young. He arose and took the young child and his mother and came into the land of Israel. But when he heard that the Archelaus did reign in Judea in the room of his father Herod.
So that's Herod's son. Once he heard about that, he reigned in the place of his father. He might want to do the same thing. What happened?
He was afraid to go thither. Notwithstanding, being warned of God in a dream, he turned aside into the parts of Galilee.
Being warned of God in what?
Dream.
So what happened? He turned aside and went where?
To the parts of Galilee.
Parts of Galilee. Was that an accident? Him going into the parts of Galilee, was that an accident?
Yes, sir.
Get that next verse. Go ahead.
And it came and dwelt in a city called Nazareth.
Just in the parts of Galilee, city called Nazareth. Why?
That it might be fulfilled which was spoken by the prophets, he shall be called a Nazarene.
That's right. In the midst of that, you know what we got? Go to Joshua 21 verse 32. Joshua 21 verse 32. This is when Joshua was dividing the land amongst the tribes. Remember where Christ was. Alright? Verse 32, hearken to the scripture.
And out of the tribe of Naphtali, Kadesh in Galilee, with her suburbs, to be a city of refuge for the slayer.
Be a city of what?
Refuge.
What's refuge? Text. Don't the Bible say God is my refuge, my defense, my strength? It's already written. When Christ came, he already had a place of refuge. Some cities already been set aside for refuge, for protection from the slayer. Didn't Herod want to slay the baby? Already protected. Go ahead.
For the slayer, and Hebador with her suburbs, and Cartan with her suburbs, 3 cities.
That's good. It wasn't no accident. You already had places and cities of refuge set aside. When you divide out the land, you set out these places as places of refuge. Where people can go from protection from the slayer. You hear the song? Let's go back to Psalm 91. We'll close it out here. Psalm 91. The point is, as long as you being obedient to God, keep His word, His statutes, His laws, you trust Him, you got your faith in Him, you abide under the shadow of the Most High. You abide in the secret place of the Most High. No matter where you at. It doesn't matter where you are physically. It don't matter. He protect you wherever you are as long as you keep His command. Verse 1. Let's just run through it briefly. Go ahead.
He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty.
Yeah, so I know a lot of times we've been taught, just go along with Isaiah 35. You can read that on your own and see if it parallels. But if we're being true to the text, we can't find nowhere anywhere it's talking about a wilderness. Not to say God can't protect you in the wilderness, but to use this as the wilderness, the place of safety, I really don't see it. Really don't see it. Let's go through it. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Most High. Go ahead.
I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress. My God, in Him will I trust.
This is how you abide in the secret place. This is how you remain in the shadow. He is my refuge. He is my fortress. In Him will I trust. Go ahead.
Surely
what?
He shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence.
No matter where you're at. Go ahead.
He shall cover thee with His feathers, and under His wings shalt thou trust.
He gonna cover you with His feathers, and under His wings shall you trust. Remember, He gonna send that angel. The angel of the Lord is encamped round about them that trust in Him.
Right.
Everybody that trusts in the Lord ain't gonna be in the same place. It don't matter. Go ahead.
His truth shall be thy shield and buckler.
What? What's the shield and the buckler?
It's truth.
Don't mean it don't have to be a physical location. You abide in His truth, you abide in His word abide in you. He got you. His truth shall be, read that again, where you at?
His truth shall be thy shield and buckler.
Yes.
Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day.
That's right. Because you God is your refuge. You trust in Him to protect you, right, to keep you safe. No matter if it's trouble by day or night. No matter what's going on around you, you're not shaken by the trouble because God is bigger than the trouble. God is your refuge. God is your place of safety. He knows how to deliver the ungodly out of temptation or trouble or snares of the devil or traps of the wicked. Right? Go ahead.
Nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday.
Nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. Go ahead.
1,000 shall fall at thy side, and and 10,000 at thy right hand,
Mm-hmm.
but it shall not come nigh thee. Only with
Nothing
thy
is too big. You can see the trouble all around you. But if God is protecting you, you in a secret place, He's not gonna come near you, no matter how many fall. Go ahead.
only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked.
Why would you allow that to happen? Come on.
Because thou hast made the Lord, which is my refuge, even the Most High, thy habitation.
Now, how much plainer do we gotta say it? You don't make the Lord your refuge. You don't make the Lord, who is the Most High, thy habitation. That's why He said in Revelation, because you kept the word of my patience, I keep you from the hour of temptation. Protect you. Go ahead.
10. There shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling.
Look, there shall no evil befall you, neither shall any plague come near your dwelling. What's your dwelling? Thy dwelling is what? Where you live. Go ahead.
For he shall give his angel charge over thee, to keep thee in all thy ways. They shall
That's how he just let you know how he had a protection laid out. He gave his angels charge over you, and they keep you in all thy ways. Go ahead.
They shall bear thee up in thy hands,
Mm-hmm.
lest thou dash thy foot against a stone.
What else?
Thou shalt tread upon the lion and the adder.
Mm-hmm.
The young lion and the dragon shalt thou trample under feet.
Yes.
Because he has set his love upon me, therefore will I deliver him.
What? Because he said his love upon, that's the reason you're going to deliver him? Go ahead.
I will set him on high, because he hath known my name.
What else?
He shall call upon me, and I will answer him.
When?
I will be with him in trouble.
What?
I will deliver him and honor him.
Amen. Go ahead.
With long life will I satisfy him and show him my salvation.
Place, secret place of the Most High is to abide under His shadow. How do you get that type of protection? It's real simple. Put your trust in God. Keep your commands. He protect you wherever you at. Hope we got some understanding. In Jesus' name, I thank you for your time. Amen. Somebody let him know we're done.